One lump or two, it's time for the morning tea.
Hey everyone, this is the morning tea powered by T News and your CEO, CJ Waters. The first piece of tea that we have for this morning is Rico Cassadon and K Starr. So, over this past weekend, K Starr was set to perform at the GDR Festival. However, he made some interesting comments about Rico. Take a look at the clip.
Who you talking about, Kar?
She a fat ass bitch.
Who?
Rico Castellan. A fat ass bitch. Yeah, a raggedy ass bitch. Yeah. Dumb ass bitch. Fat ass bitch. Oh, Zipping and Steel fat ass bitch. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, fuck her. Okay? Tell that bitch to run it back, bitch. Alright, y'all having a great time in this thing though.
Oh, and that's not it. So, following that, with K Star calling him other than a child of God, there's another clip where Rico responds to what he had to say about him. Take a look.
Girl, imagine sitting in your bed, rubbing your feet together after getting off work, and your name gets mentioned all the way yonder, all the way yonder. Child, y'all be blessed. Go to church tomorrow. Love you. Mwah.
So, before we all go to church for tomorrow, D'Angelo, we're going to start with you. How do you feel about this clip?
I'm sorry. Sorry, that was a mess. Go ahead.
You saying both of them was a mess or just Rico's was a mess?
Every bit of it was a fucking mess. But go ahead.
It was all a mess. And when they gonna take us out the group chat?
I don't know
When
how
y'all
they
gonna
got my
take us out the
number,
group chat?
but
Put
it
the
kind
put,
of.
put the claws up, girls. Relax. Go sit down for some coffee and mend y'all friendship, okay?
I just want to know, where did this come from? Like, who mentioned Rico Cassadine during KSR said to set him off like that? Because that was a whole lot of. And I was just like, what way you up here performing your music, or at least supposed to be, and you done fucked around and made this the
Call
Rico
him if.
challenge and RuPaul's Drag. What? Wait, how did we get here? I want to talk to the person who mentioned Rico Cassadine in the audience. I want to bring them to the front of the congregation and scold them accordingly, because you didn't have to do that.
How did we get here?
Because
Okay.
Rico was not supposed to be here in this moment. But what I will say is that Rico's response was funny as hell. That response was very Tabitha Brown's evil twin coded. And I'm here for it.
Rubbing your feet together
Very for it.
in
Stay
your bed.
tuned for more on that response.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next tea that I have for you guys is Justin J, who also goes by the name of King of Reeds. He had an opinion that he wanted to talk about on the Pop the Balloon or Find Queer Love show on his TikTok. Take a look at the clip.
We got to talk about the Pop the Balloon Finding Queer Love content. This last episode, Trax, I want to talk to you. If you're going to call yourself a host, you're going to have to host, boo. Because this was not giving. You were putting people in harm's way. You had contestants on this last episode that looked like they were about to fight. And you should have shut that down immediately. Like the moment it goes left to that point, you're already inviting a space, creating a space for folks to come on here and go viral and inviting folks who want clout to be on this show. You need to at least protect folks from some shit. You can't protect them from feeling rejection and all of that, but you can at least protect them in how they are engaged. How we're calling this show Finding Queer Love, and there's no queer politic. All I'm seeing is mass presenting wannabe fucking mass sissies. That's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing. There is no queer politic. There is no queerness. The only queer person that was visible to me was the femme presenting one who came towards the end of the episode and didn't even get a chance to speak before they were harassed. And the host saw that. The host was being disrespected, Trax, and didn't shut it down. Who is this for? And I'm not interested in the conversation about this being bad representation for Black gay men, because this show isn't that. Like, I'm not worried about the representation of Black gay men needing to be good. Like, one bad show should not be the representation, especially when you have shows like Love Island and all that, where we see the same type of behavior. But the difference between those is that there's more liability and more protection for the contestants. Usually, sometimes. This is on another level where you have a space where you're inviting clout chasing individuals to come and do the most for 10 seconds of fame. And it's not giving 15. It's not even giving nowhere near 15 seconds, let alone 15. It's not giving that. Y'all have these people come on this show and they're very violent in the way they reject folks. I was confused at how this was a 30 on up episode and I didn't see any maturity. There was only one mature guy, and that was Raheem. And I'm so glad he checked that angry ass dude towards the end about his swag. Like, if you're going to say you're not interested in somebody because of how they dress, that's your prerogative. We can't make you change that. But the way that he did it, like, it's okay to come on the show and just say, hey, I'm just not interested, and that's okay. Y'all come on here like y'all on fucking Baddies or some Zeus or some shit, and none of y'all is collecting a check. You are standing in line like you're about to head to lunch for free. Nobody's buying your music. Nobody's supporting you like that. The only eyes y'all are getting is for this week or the next couple of days of us watching these clips. Nobody's going to support you long term with this. Like, I'm just so confused of who this is for and what are we doing? Like, change the name to Finding Gay Love, because this is definitely not queer. This is not queer at all. Not even in the least. Those are my thoughts. Like, I have so many other things to say. There's so much shit to unpack with this episode. And just, this was just a perfect example of how performative folks are when dating. Even in this, it's very performative of how folks are being assholes and mean. And it's interesting how much niggas switched their tune when somebody desirable walked in. When Sherrod walked in, niggas had to contemplate if they would date a content creator or a porn star. Like, this is how desire shows up. Like, niggas be saying, oh, I'll never do this. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You will do a lot of stuff based off of desire. I've seen it. And this is evidence of that. So y'all, if you've not checked it out, I'm pretty sure you've seen some clips. Tell me your thoughts on it. Like, again, we got work to do quickly, very quickly.
Oh, wow. So after watching this clip, do y'all honestly feel like he made some valid points, or was he just overstating his opinion? And we're going to start with you, Oakland.
I feel like, to quote CJ Waters of T News blog, this was a soft, valid crash out. This was a soft, valid crash out. I feel like there were a lot of valid points made. There were a lot of interesting points made that I didn't expect to be made, like him saying that this needs to be called Finding Gay Love and not Finding Queer Love. I appreciate that point because there's nothing queer about this show. But this goes back to my point about firing the casting director, because these people aren't necessarily. Let me go back for a second, because the reason why I understand King of Reed's point, but I also challenge it, is because name me one dating show in the history of television that was actually geared towards finding love first. Right. So, I'm saying all of that to say is that this type of behavior or this type of energy when it comes to dating shows has been commonplace from the inception of them. You know what I'm saying? When I watch this show, the first thing that I think about is the MTV show Next, right? Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
stepping off the
Yes.
bus and it was like Next.
Next.
It's very
I used
that.
to want to do that.
Now, mind you, while I feel like he gave a lot of valid points, we also have to think about the audience that these shows are being geared towards. The people who watch the Flavor of Loves, the One More Chances, the all of these dating shows, they're looking for bangy ass content, right? So you're not actually putting effort into casting people with a varietized scope of interest when it comes to what they're looking for when it comes to dating. You're looking for people who are going to be entertaining on camera, right? While he's getting that, he's not finding a balance. So it's like, what do you do with that? You know what I mean? But like I said, it's not just Trax's fault because he's one of every other reality show about dating on the spectrum of dating shows.
Mm.
So pointing him out is kind of it's like that point that I made about people in this space and the producers in the web reality space having full control and they're having that responsibility to produce content with integrity. This is where I agree with him at. But have dating shows ever been curated towards actually matching people or exploring love in a real capacity? Real question.
I think so. Ressie G created one, and a couple people found some love on it.
They found magic.
Mm. They found matches, and they made some love.
I will say that that show was intentioned towards actually matching people towards dating. I will say that. I will say that. But however, it's just like, is this behavior not commonplace on dating shows? That's all. Now, I'm not
Okay.
saying that makes it right. I'm saying that Trax had the opportunity to do something different with his show instead of producing one of many. Yes, I agree with that. But making it seem like he's infiltrating the LGBT community space and presenting this malicious representation of gay men, it's like, okay, like I get where you're going, but it's a lot for one person when this is literally the history of dating shows in general. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So wait, because I feel like when he was doing it in Houston, we got reads right, but we also there was a lot of people who matched on the Houston, right? But
I
I feel like since he went to Atlanta, I feel like it's just been get him, shade, shade, shade. So do you think it's just the state that he's in?
could it be location? Could it be the analytics to the Houston version inspiring what he looks for when it comes to casting the Atlanta version? I don't know. We would have to. I mean, D'Angelo, you do the interviews on this show. I guess that would be your department. What?
Okay, well I guess I need to get tracks on the docket then. Let's
Yeah,
see what we can do.
on through to what's been brewing.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
All right, and speaking of new shows, D'Angelo, did you just visit Indiana last week for Thanksgiving?
I did. That's my hometown.
Great. So have you heard of this new show that's coming out called The Bells and Bills of Indianapolis?
I seen it.
Hmm. So what are your thoughts on that?
First, I'm excited to see some content coming from out of Indianapolis. I'm so excited for people to kind of see what we have to offer, and I am I'm interested to see what this cast is going to do. It's a very unique cast, I think. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna bring. Hopefully they make us look good.
Okay, I do have one question though. So, if you wasn't living in Dallas but was living in your hometown, would you be interested in the show?
Would you sit at that table?
Things is, I sat at those tables with a couple people. I don't know if those relationships are still there to sit at that table. So I don't know if I would be necessarily invited.
That's that's understandable. Colleen, how do you feel about it?
I'm excited to see another show. I think it's interesting. I don't know much about Indianapolis or Indiana as a state, so I'm excited to see what they're bringing. I'm always excited for another show to come out of the web reality space, so I'll be watching.
We'll be tuned
Oh,
in.
yep, we will definitely be tuned in. And the last piece of tea that we have for tonight is our very own ReVoice Network is wanting everyone to put in their submissions for the Dallas Entertainment Awards. And right now we have here Oakland and also Ressie G that was a part of their podcast called Casually Deep. Can you tell us why they should nominate the Casual Deep podcast for this awards?
Absolutely. I think that this is not only an entertaining show, a funny show. I think that the conversations that were had on this first season were very pivotal for not only the LGBT community, but the world at large. I think that anybody can watch our podcast and gain some sort of knowledge from it. I
Mhm.
think that we put our blood, sweat, and tears in it. I think that we really advocated for not only us as a Black queer community, but also for self care, self love, and the advancement of mental health as a whole for this community. So I definitely think that we gave you something worth nominating, and we would really appreciate it if you not only checked out the show, but nominated us for the award as well. And for not only Best Podcast, but me and Reese both for Best Podcast Host as well.
Great. And will we be and how soon will we be seeing a possible season two?
Listen, it's in development. It's coming. There definitely will be a season two. Um, we have a lot already prepared for it. We're just putting some pieces together and getting it all lined up. But you will definitely be seeing season two of Casually Deep very soon.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right. So with all of that being said, this concludes the morning tea.